Okay. My match with Clay has ended. I decided this week to not go with a live commentary. I did record a live commentary technically, but I felt like my behavior and attitude during the match at the end was not good. It was not very postable. So I've taken time to reflect after the match, and now let's go over the replay for my match with Clay. We have from Clay's end, we have Sylveon, we have Umbreon, Flareon, Jolteon, Mew, and Celesteela. As soon as I saw Terra Ground Flareon, I realized that I was in a bit of trouble potentially. So I decided. So I was like very much like okay, I really need to do work with this Terra with my Nidoking. Nidoking had to do a lot and against this team. So it is Terra Fire Sylveon as well, by the way. Thank you, Clay, for making your Terra types very apparent with your things. It's very appreciated from my end. So let's go through the match. My lead this week was Darkrai. Oh, no, sorry, I led Victini this week into Mew, which is not necessarily great, but at the same time, it's kind of okay. We just click a U-turn. We get a lot of damage out. Fully physical set. Darkrai comes in on a Stealth Rocks. I just click Dark Pulse. Mew has Colbur Berry. So it does 36%. And I take probably a U-turn here. Yeah. Jolteon comes out with its Air Balloon. I hard switch to Nidoking. And my opponent clicks Signal Beam. Gets a little bit of damage. Signal Beam for Darkrai specifically. So the same thing that that I've done before sometimes. If you just need to run it sometimes on Pokemon that can't hit Dark types. Sometimes you think that you could go for Signal Beam and see how much damage it does, and it might do more than your other moves potentially. Regardless, my opponent clicked Rain Dance, and this was a sign that I should have been like, oh, what's going on here? Like I clicked Flamethrower obviously to just remove the Air Balloon. But here I should have smelled something bad and switched to Slow King, realizing that they were probably going to click something like a Weather Ball or whatever. I wasn't sure why we were setting Rain. I was a little confused until I saw all of a sudden Weather Ball, and all of a sudden the Pokemon that's supposed to kind of deal with most of my opponent's team is dead, which was really bad for me. Like, this was a very bad moment for me in this game, unfortunately. I go Zapdos here. Hurricanes can't miss now. I don't remember if it's in my set. However, Thunder can't miss either in the rain. So this is a Thunder, Weather Ball, Rain Dance, Signal Beam set. He switches into there. I go Roost. Pretty good Roost. Toxic Roost. I click Thunderbolt. It does 45%, and it paralyzes. My opponent clicks Automatize, which is really... weakness policy triggers, and I think they click Automatize. Yeah, so if it's weakness policy, it's definitely Automatize. However, this is still fine for me. Because my opponent's essentially just the same speed. Clicks Smackdown, does a good amount of damage, but I'm never gonna be slower, so we're never gonna get... So they do make the correct switch and get Volt Absorb on Jolteon. I have Toxic there. We click Rain Dance again. I just U-turn and go Victini because I could just click. I figure I can, but I forgot about like the rain in any of my calcs, so I just click a fire move into Flareon. I switch to Chili Billy. My opponent clicks Wish. And switches to Mew. I click Scald, trying to kill the Mew, and I just fall one. I fell 1 HP short. However, it only goes to 42%, which is pretty nice for me. I had Colbur Berry on my set, specifically for something like a knockoff. I click Yawn to force Mew out. Goes out with a U-turn. I goes to Celesteela. My Scald just KOs. So Slowking gets his first kill of the season onto Celesteela here. Jolteon comes back out. I figured I'm going to force a Thunder miss. I'm going to force him to have to miss a Thunder. Does not miss the Thunder. Very unfortunate for me, to be honest. It's a 70% accuracy move when it's not in rain. I was expecting maybe just for the rain to be set. Switches to Sylveon. I just click Trick Room because that's really smart. Most of his team is quite slow. And I go for a Power Gem. I go for a Power or Meteor Beam. To Hyper Voice, which is 41. I'm faster, so my stuff, all this faster damage. I do remove that. I do remove that. Jolteon is here. Or Flareon is here. Click Trick Room into a Moonblast. I had Trick Room, Meteor Beam, Moonblast, and not Earth Power, something else. Which I don't remember. What is my fourth? Well, either way, I wasn't clicking it here. So now the dimensions shift. It's Terra Ground, and he just clicks Terra Ground, Terra Blast. So I figured I was going down here. Very unfortunate. And Flareon was very hard to break through for the rest of my team. In theory, Zapdos doesn't have an attacking move. I'd have to use Toxic, which does get synchronized back onto me, which is a bit losing for me in the end. Double synchronized Pokemon is very rough, to be fair. So I switch out, but I did a slow switch into Darkrai. I click Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb being the best possible move into a bunch of his Pokemon. So it is going to be at least 3 Pokemon living, and I am Life Orb. So, but I'm not faster than Jolteon, so I'm forced to switch into Zapdos, who also has to hope for a Thunder Miss. It's a Signal Beam attack, though. So now I'm just kind of sitting here, also hoping for another miss of Thunder, which doesn't miss. So yeah, that was very brutal. I was gonna be able to Roost again, and then I would be able to probably like switch out or something. I don't even remember exactly what my plan was, but I was just trying to stall Jolteon to the point of not being able to KO. I am faster here, but my opponent then just can go Flareon. And I am forced to just click U-turn, which is really not what I wanted to do, but something I kind of felt I had to do. Sorry. And now Neji is slower, but now I just can't do anything realistically. I'm just clicking Dark Pulse, and I only have 2 attacks. I don't have a way to really KO. I should have put Focus Blast on. I should have gone Focus Blast on Darkrai here, because Focus Blast would hit everything. That's my fault. Did have Sucker Punch on the set, which obviously then I didn't have a chance. And from here, I don't really have anything that hits anyways. It's just, he goes for Sucker, and I go for Trick. That was my 4th move, was Tricks. Choice Scarf for leftovers. I'm trying to just essentially get rid of Sucker Punches. Eventually, I do have the Scarf. I end up back with whatever was here. I have Heavy Duty Boots, and I just protected that, and then I just slowly bleed out to Toxic Poison. So after 2 very good matches by me with some solid wins, I do take a 3-mon loss, which puts me right back to even on the season in terms of differential at 2-2. So bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Clay played really well. And the set, I was just not expecting Flareon this week. And I was not expecting that specific Jolteon set. Like, I was more looking like maybe he'd bring like Calm Mind, Jolteon, something like that. That's like pretty common, like, or just a regular Jolteon set to be a bit annoying. But it turned out that it was a set that absolutely owned my most important Pokemon in the matchup and kind of lost me a lot on like the first few turns. And I was just playing I don't know. It's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Learning experience, and I will hopefully come back stronger in the next week as I go up against Diamond and the Vancouver Grizzlies. But regardless, I will hope to see everybody here again next week for that match. And until then, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time in the world it is for you. And until next time, bye-bye. All right, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Azalea Kari, and today we will be going over my Week 5 Ember Flight Gaming Season 10 matchup. Going through the matchup, the team I'm bringing, and then the replay afterwards. I decided after Week 3 that I probably wouldn't want to keep doing live comms. Maybe if I make playoffs, we'll do some live commentary, but I want to be making sure I'm as focused as I can during the match, and so I think the replay reviews are quite good. So coming off of a unfortunate loss, but with a lot having been learned, I will be playing against Diamond and the Vancouver Grizzlies this week, who just had a couple of changes made to their team after or at the deadline. So Week 4, our teams are set. So I made no changes, so my team will stay the same. But for my opponent has Iron Bundle, Tornadus Therian, Garchomp, Tinkaton, Uxie, Blastoise, Slitherwing, and Colossal as his 2 Terra captains. We have Lantern and Skuntank. For myself, it is the same squad. So I'll go over my team and what I will talk about the Pokemon that aren't coming mainly. So number 1, we aren't bringing, obviously, we'll go through the obvious one. Volbeat, unfortunately, not coming this week. I thought about Volbeat maybe being okay to bring. But in the end, I ended up deciding against it. We are not bringing Mega Skarmory. Try as I might, I feel like Tinkaton really makes it difficult to bring Skarm, as well as just some other Pokemon on the team here that could make it a bit difficult for Skarmory. But mainly Tinkaton. So we're not bringing Mega Skarm. And lastly, we are also actually not bringing Tangrowth this week. So we're not bringing a single Terra Pokemon this week. So we are bringing Victini, Darkrai, Zapdos, Nidoking, Slowking, and Deontay. So I will go ahead and show you the team that I will be bringing. All right, here's the team in its whole. Here, like I mentioned, it's all the Pokemon I said. It is Darkrai, it is Zapdos, it is Victini. We have Nidoking, Slowking, and Deontay. So we will start with we'll go from the top left downwards and then right on the right down. So we'll start with our Darkrai. We have Neji Boss in the Darkrai, running choice specs this week: 32 HP, 252 special attack, 224 speed. We're running Timid Nature, with Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Psychic. So Ice Beam, I think Ice Beam and Thunderbolt are both going to be very good this week to have with his Pokemon selection. As you can see, we're running Ice Beams and Thunderbolts on like almost everything. Note this week we're not running a single physical attacking Pokemon. All of our Pokemon are attacking on the special side. Not something I want to do often, but something that felt pretty good this week. So next, we're going to go down to Zapdos. We have Carlos Zapdos running Heavy Duty Boots, ability Static. Hopefully being Static. Because I think last week I was accidentally pressure when I wanted to be static, but I made note of that. 248 HP, 252 defense, 8 special attack with a bold nature, Hurricane, Thunderbolt, U-turn, and Defog. Defog for cases where I don't have rocks up and they get rocks up before, so I think that will be a good thing to remove. Next up we have Deontay. We have Bibu the Deontay running a Shucka Berry this week with 248 HP, 252 special attack, 8 Spadef, and a plus special attack minus speed nature. We're running I should be running, I'm gonna change it. It's gonna have 0 speed IVs in the match, but Trick Room, Moonblast, Earth Power, Power Gem with 0 speed and 0 attack IVs. Next up we have Chili Billy the Slow King running Culberberry this week. 248 HP, 8 special attack, and 252 special defense. Calm Nature with Scald, Teleport, Ice Beam, and Power Gem. And next up we have Garuramon, the Nidoking. We're going to be going Choice Scarf this week. Sheer Force with 84 HP, 252 special attack, and 172 speed. With a Timid Nature, Earth Power, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and then Stealth Rocks. Lastly, we have our Victini. We have Victihi the Victini running Shucka Berry, 40 HP, 252 special attack, and 216 speed. Timid Nature with Blue Flare, Thunderbolt, Glaciate, and Scorching Sands. Scorching Sands being for a potential switch in of Colossal, because Colossal should be a pretty big Victini answer depending on its Terra type. So that is our team, and I will be back after the match. Hope to see you then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my match with Diamond has concluded, and the team that I faced was a little bit different than maybe what I was expecting. In my head, I did get the correct Terra on the Slitherwing going into the match. And I was kind of expecting most of these Pokemon, but the Lantern, maybe not so much. As soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, this is going to be maybe a little bit of a difficult game for me. But at the same time, I was still pretty confident that I had a good game plan going in. But the one thing I have typically struggled with is my lead in these weeks. So I led with my Scarf Nidoking into Uxie. I did not want to attack it, so I figured, so it was like this was instantly a bad lead, which is fine. You can recover, like Nidoking and then go from there is kind of like how I thought about it. So I switched to Darkrai immediately. Rocks came out into here, which I assumed that Tinkaton would just be my opponent's Darkrai counter, so I was kind of okay with it. I switched to Zapdos. Play Rough came out and missed. Lantern came in with Volt Absorb for my Thunderbolt. So the reason that Lantern was so much of a problem is because it's a Volt Absorb Pokemon. In my team, I have a lot of Thunderbolts on my team and a lot of electrical moves to do things to my opponent's team. So I went to Billy here on Toxic. And I kind of just have to sit here and eat a Volt Switch at the same time, which is very unfortunate. But I also knew that that I was very specially defensive, so it wouldn't do that much, and then I could just teleport and gain my health back. And I could switch right back to Darkrai on the on here. And this time I did call that they were going to switch, so I went for a Thunderbolt play, dealt 31%. And then I think I end up switching here to Zapdos again. My opponent switches to Lantern. They go Protect. I clicked Defog, I'm pretty sure. No, I clicked Hurricane. Sorry, I'm trying to predict even my own moves. My apologies. This is being recorded quite a bit after the game was played. So I'm not 100% remembering everything that happens. But I do click yeah, so I clicked defog here against it. I just needed to get it. I just needed to do some stuff to it, and then I just got hit by a toxic. Another protect. I click U-turn to get out, but so I have to take a little bit more toxic chip, which is fine. So I get my U-turn off, go to my Nidoking for Volt Switch. Yeah. My opponent switches to Uxie, but I click, and I end up clicking Earth Power. So then I end up switching again because I do not want to take a Psychic move. And I'm locked into Earth Power there as I'm Scarfed. Garchomp comes in. I click Scald. I don't get the burn. I switched to Carlos expecting an Earthquake. I got the Earthquake. I clicked Earthquake and I got a 40% of my health done. Dragon Tail, and I got the Static proc, which was really good. Deontay dragged out. Switches to Uxie on what turns out to be Earth Power. I was expecting, I guess I was just expecting Lantern or something like that. Which is very unfortunate that I missed another play. And then it has Iron Tail, which is, by the way, I think like is not a fully accurate move. I hit Moonblast for like no damage. And I have to switch to Nidoking. And he clicks Iron Tail, does 25%. I stay in here. I kind of was expecting... I clicked Rocks to get Rocks up, and then I just get Psychicked. I was like, what move are we running? Like, are we running Zen Headbutt? Like, I thought he might be running Zen Headbutt with Iron Tail on this up because it was fully physical, but then he clicks Psychic. And Zen Headbutt can miss, so I was kind of almost banking on a miss. But I wanted to get Rocks up. I thought getting Rocks up was very important for me. In the end, I U-turn out because I didn't want to keep it in. I go to Billy. And my team is just getting chipped and chipped and chipped. Psychic comes out, does no damage. But my Pokemon is just taking more and more damage. I take a full U-turn, switches to Lantern. And I'm able to click Scald and get nothing and no burn either. I forced a hard switch or sack. So I'm pretty sure I just hard switch Zapdos. Yeah. Problem with Zapdos is taking all this damage and I don't have Roost. I have Hurricane. Like, the Hurricane probably could have been something else, but I needed it in case I had to face into a Lantern. Pretty much. Here comes Iron Bundle. So I just kind of knew I was in trouble here with Iron Bundle. My team was pretty okay into it. But... So I went so he went Tinkaton. I clicked Thunderbolt again, I'm pretty sure. No, I clicked DP, Dark Pulse. Thunderbolt would have been fine. I guess I just didn't want them to go to there. Switch to Victini, which drops my health. And then I get Thunder Waved, which is really unfortunate. Obviously, if I had Zapdos alive, he's not clicking that. I could have gone to one of my Toxic... I could have gone to my Toxic Slowking and then switched to not take a T-Wave, but I wasn't thinking about T-Wave for some reason. I was thinking Play Rough, essentially. But this is really bad because now my Victini is like a lot slower, and I could never outspeed Garchomp, which I was outspeeding at that moment. I go Deontay here to take the Volt Absorb because I need to keep my guy alive. I have to sack Victini here. My apologies. We switch. It's a Volt switch, and it's a switch into Iron Bundle, which I know is gonna KO. So I just have to take the death. It's a flip turn on top of it. Lantern, I probably go into my Darkrai here. No, I go Slowking. I'm trying to just get some health. Oh, I clicked Power Gem. That's right. I was trying to get some damage out. Volt Switch does a lot. It's Garchomp, and I click Power Gem. I think I was expecting to be faster. He clicked Spikes, and I clicked Ice Beam to do the damage. And I knew I was going to lose my Pokemon here, so I just let it go down. I could have switched, but now it's Spikes plus this, so I don't have removal at this point, and I don't have Boots on either Pokemon, so I am just in a very bad way, and I had almost pretty much no way out from here. First impression KOs that. And then Victini, slower than this, is never going to take damage. So, unfortunately for me, well, actually, he U-turns first, brings in Lantern on my Blue Flare, which does 21%, and I'm not faster than this Pokemon, and I couldn't KO it anyways with Blue Flare, very likely. He clicks Protect. Like, there was no way I was losing from here. I'm locked. Like, my opponent wanted to make sure that they weren't going to die to a crit. They would have died to crit anyways, and they were just faster. Like, it's all good. Diamond's the homie. I know he's not trying to BM. So yeah, I take a 5-mon loss, which really hurts. As I'm now 2-3, and I'm a -5 differential. And which makes me, like, essentially from this point have to kind of win out with decent differentials to get into like 5-3 probably locks. Probably I'm fine at 5-3. Like, there shouldn't be, I should not be outside the top if I can just win out. But forcing a win out when I'm not playing very good at this point isn't very good for me, but it's fine. A rough lesson to learn in considering things like Lantern and these lower end Pokemon that have like Volt Absorb. Because 2 weeks in a row now, I have just been massacred by Pokemon having blanket immunities in their abilities against my Victini, where I did not have good moves for any of them. I had good moves on Victini for stuff this week. I had but I didn't cover the Lantern. If I had a Psychic move, I would have been fine. Obviously until he just brings in Uxie, and I cannot damage Uxie, but fine. Like, either way, it works out. It works out in a negative way for me. But anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And hopefully we can bring it back next week in week 6 against Rainy Dason and the Jirachi Starfall, which is a matchup I've been looking forward to all season ever since I got in. Rainy is one of the new coaches to our division, technically I am new to the division, but not new to Amberflight Gaming, as a whole. So looking forward to that next week. But to everybody else who's watching now, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all for that match, and until then, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Until next time, bye bye.